Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of What the Smut is. Okay, so in today's video, and I'm gonna try and make this a quick one because all of my videos are like an hour long now, so I gotta break the cycle and just like get out of that. So in today's video, we will be reviewing, we're diving back in to the Black Dagger Brotherhood. Maybe you've heard of it. We're going to be reviewing Lover Revealed by J.R. Ward. If you know anything about this series, you will know that it's a series of vampire novels. My poor book is so beat up to shit. Like, how did you get so crusty? I don't take care of my stuff. So, I cut my hair off. It's gone. Bye. Bye, bitch, bye. So, in today's video, we will be reviewing this book. This is book 4 in J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood series. According to Amazon, but we know they'd be lying. So, I don't know, it's obviously a lie because there's like a little excerpt at the end and we're not going to count that. So, 455 pages in the mass market paperback. I'm pretty sure this is mass market. I don't know. According to Amazon, 482 pages for this book. Lies. You can currently get this book for your Kindle or Nook for the price of $8.99. I'm sorry for the reflection. This is like a glossy type, has like a glossy finish on it, and it's like reflecting from my ring light, which is new and too bright. So I'm sorry about that in advance. $8.99 for the Kindle or Nook version. The mass market. Okay. The mass market paperback. This one right here that I'm holding. Obviously it would be in better condition. But this one, $6.99. $2 less for this physical, tangible product than it is for the digital download of a book. Okay. We've talked about this and I don't understand. So, I've given up attempting to understand. It's just something that peeves me and will continue to peeve me every time I see such a drastic price difference between digital download and like actual book. It's just something that I'm gonna make like I'm gonna get like the eye twitches every time it happens. So just brace yourself for that. If you actually watch more than one video. I will give you so many kudos if you finish a video. But if you watch more than one, Jesus God Almighty, please. What did the fuck? Okay. Anyway, so yeah. So if you watch more than one, I love you. You're the best. Okay. Let's also talk about the hardcover situation when it comes to these books. Okay. Black Dagger Brotherhood. It's a ridiculously popular series. Like, if you've never heard of these books, you've literally lived under like a proverbial rock. Like, there's no way. Unless you just even if you don't read paranormal romance, you've heard of these. You may not have read them, but you've heard of them. The first, like, I want to say it's like the first 5 or 6 of this series are so difficult to find in hardcover in any condition, let alone in good condition or in like new condition, that they're so outrageously priced that it makes me think like anyone that's willing to pay this type of money, Tila, girl, you crazy, okay? Like, I love The Warden as much as the next person, but I'm perfectly satisfied with mass market. I don't need to spend used between $135 and $442 on eBay for the used hardcover of this book, just this one. And this is number 4. Imagine the first one. I can't, my brain just flatlined. I can't even. So yeah. So no, that's gonna be a no for me. I'm sorry, Jessica, but no, I can't reconcile myself. You can find this paperback used on eBay for about $4 with free shipping in varying conditions of use. So keep that in mind too. I will read you guys a blurb, and I will try and break it down really fast because I'm already at 7 minutes and I've reeled about absolutely nothing. So I got my little trusty paper here because you know your girl likes doing double the work. So I'm gonna read you the blurb and we'll get into it, okay? The blurb for this says, is it the same from the back? Is it exactly the same? It's exactly the same. Okay, we're gonna read from the book because why not? Okay, Butch O'Neill is a fighter by nature, a hard-living ex-homicide cop. He's the only human ever to be allowed in the inner circle of the Black Dagger Brotherhood. And he wants to go even deeper into the vampire world, to engage in the turf war with the Lessers. He's got nothing to lose. His heart belongs to a female vampire, an aristocratic beauty who's way out of his league. If he can't have Marissa, then at least he can fight side by side with the brothers. Fate curses him with the very thing he wants. Butch sacrifices himself to save a civilian vampire from the Slayers. He falls prey to the darkest force in the war. Left for dead, he's found by a miracle, and the Brotherhood calls on Marissa to bring him back. But even her love may not be enough to save him. Okay. As the blurb states, the blurb actually does give a good bit away in terms of like the gist of what's going on in the book, which I guess is what a blurb is supposed to do. Anyway, synopsis. What is your preferred word? Blurb? Synopsis? Synopsis? Excerpt. I don't think that would be considered an excerpt, right? Okay, so the two main characters for this book are Butch and Marissa. Okay, who should we break down first? Butch is, like the blurb says, an ex-homicide cop. He was a homicide cop in the force in Caldwell, New York, which is where all of these books take place. He is from a large, super Catholic family, like a big family. But he has grown up feeling like an outsider in that family his entire life. His dad treated him like trash. His mom was like a typical meek housewife type situation, and all of his brothers and sisters were kind of oblivious to the way he was treated. Even to the extent that now that they're all grown, they really don't have anything to do with him. So he's kind of like the black sheep. He moved from Boston. So he's like a big Red Sox fan, which is a point of contention between a lot of like, like throughout the books, like he's like, okay. And so he now lives in Caldwell. He was a homicide cop. He came across the Brotherhood, which is a band of vampires who protect, like, okay, so they're like super vampires. When I say super vampires, I don't mean like they have superpowers. I mean like they're like bulkier and stronger and more lethal and deadly than like the rest of the vampire race. They protect the civilian population of vampires with like their muscles, you know, like their muscles. And yeah, so the Brotherhood is now down to like, I want to say like 5 or 6 bros, and they're led by Wrath, who's the blind king. He's like top dog. He's the king of the vampires, and he is slowly losing his sight due to like a genetic, I forget, like a genetic condition or something. He has a mate. His book was the first one. I want to say it's Dark Lover, I think. It has a bright red cover, I'm pretty sure. So you can go back and look for my review for that one. I have already reviewed that book, as well as the others that came between that one and the one we're doing today. So if you want, you can go down. They're a ways back because I kind of fell off reviewing the series, which is another thing I'm thinking about doing a video of, maybe like going back and revisiting all the series that I started to review and then just like fucked off of. And there's been some, there's been a few. So I do need to get back into reading those. But in an effort to keep the channel varied, I've been like hopping around like a rabbit. And yeah, so I might go back and try and revisit some of those, but we'll see. So the Brotherhood, like I said, is down to like 4 or 5 warriors, and they need to bulk up their ranks. And they have decided to start like a training program for like, okay, so when vampires reach their maturity, it's usually like in your late teens-ish, I think. And then before that, they're like very scrawny, very weak, and they refer to them as like pre-trans, like pre-transition to full-fledged immortal whatevers, right? They decided to start this training program where they're going to take pre-trans males, and they're going to basically put them through the ringer, like teach them how to fight, combat, weapons, that type of thing, hand-to-hand combat, so that when they go through their transition, they will be able to bulk up and fight alongside the Brotherhood. They will not technically be members of the Brotherhood, but they'll be like vampire cops, basically. Butch came onto the scene when he was called out to investigate a car bombing, and it turned out to be a vampire that got killed. It was Darius, who was a member of the Brotherhood. He got killed. Butch did some digging, found out about the Brotherhood, and instead of offing him, they basically kind of welcomed him into their ranks, not as a brother, but as like just a dude who lives at the compound now, and he's a human, but we like him. He's our human, right? He wants more. Because he's always felt like such an outsider to his family, and you know, he didn't really feel at home on the force either. He wants to be inducted into the Brotherhood. They don't think that he can be because he's a human. He would have to be turned first, which is a very rigorous process and like a dangerous process, and it has to be okayed by the scribe virgin, which is like their version of like a goddess, she's the benevolent, sometimes higher being that, you know what I mean? So yeah, so they have to get her permission before they can do anything with Butch. They haven't done that yet. One night when he's out in a bar, drowning his sorrows in booze, because the woman that he's in love with, he can't be with, he leaves the bar, and he runs across like a civilian vampire who's getting ready to get killed by the Lessening Society. The Lessening Society is like, they're like vampire slayers, but gross. So when you're inducted into the Lessening Society, you kind of go through like a transition where you turn like ghostly pale and all of your hair turns white and you smell like baby powder, but like not in a good way. It's like an off-putting smell of baby powder. And you become like part of, like an evil part of this larger being known as the Omega. So the Omega gives you like a little chunk of his soul and puts it in you, and then you turn into like a gross vampire slayer, right? So Butch is out there and he's like, I can't let this vampire die, so I gotta intervene. He intervenes. He gets his ass whooped. I think he kills, I can't remember if he kills the slayer in question, but more descend upon him. He's then taken to like one of their compounds or whatever, where he is met by the Omega. The Omega comes in and is like, hey, I know you're friends with the Brotherhood. To get at them, I'm gonna fuck you up. And so what he does is he implants himself, a piece of himself, like a physical piece of himself, into like Butch's abdomen area, and it kind of it like spreads a little bit and leaves creepy veins all over him, and then they dump him in the middle of the woods and leave him for dead. This is Caldwell during the winter. It's like snowy and he's exposed to the elements, he's naked, and etc., etc. His BFF is a vampire by the name of Vicious. They call him V. And him and V are roommates in like a little sub, imagine like a vacation cottage located on the grounds of the mansion, right, where all the other vampires live. So they refer to it as the pit. Vicious and Butch are roommates in the pit, right? Vicious is like the tech savvy genius of the Brotherhood. He has given Butch some of his blood in the past, and so he can like locate him using that connection. So he finds Butch and basically saves him, takes him to Havers, which is like an aristocrat who owns like a clinic, like a vampire clinic. And Havers basically puts him under quarantine because they think that he's been infected by something, which is technically true. While he's in quarantine, he gets a visit from Marissa. Marissa is the main female character for this book, and she is Butch's love interest. She is an aristocratic, beautiful female vampire. She comes from a very good family. Havers is her brother. He's like the head of the family, and it's just really the two of them left in their line. But they come from like a long line of like aristocrats and whatever, right? She has been brought up or was raised to eventually become Wrath's wife, the king's consort or wife or whatever you want to call it. He ended up meeting Beth and falling in love with her instead, who is the heroine from the first book. And Marissa was asked out. Because of the way aristocrats think, they automatically look at her with like pity, like she was cuckolded or forsaken by the king because she wasn't good enough. So that's basically the way she's been treated ever since. So she's a very morose character in that regard. She's very like downtrodden, but she's been raised in this environment where the men are in charge. The women just kind of meekly do their bidding and whatever. So she comes across Butch she has met Butch before, and she developed feelings for Butch in the previous books. So she comes across Butch, or she finds out Butch is in quarantine in Havers' clinic. She goes in. She's like, fuck the quarantine. I don't care. I have to see him. She breaks the quarantine. So now she's stuck in there and she can't come out for like 7 days. What are they gonna do? They end up doing some things, if you know what I'm saying. And they get caught by Havers. And Havers is like, okay, you to Butch, get the fuck out. Don't ever darken my doorstep again. I will never help you. I hate you. Later on, he basically does the same thing to Marissa. She goes home to find that he's like packed up all of her stuff, and he essentially kicks her out of their mansion or out of their house. He disowns her. She feels really shameful about it because she has like that backwards thinking of like she has no value. And she has no choice but to go to the Brotherhood mansion, where she, even though it's hidden, she can find it because she has fed the king in the past. So, like before Beth. So she goes there with like suitcase in tow and is like, I have nowhere else to go. Can you please help me? And Beth, the queen, who's now the queen, basically is like, girl, you stay in here, come on in, right? So that she moves into the mansion. Eventually she does like start looking for her own place, but while she's there, she gets more involved with Butch, who, after coming out of quarantine, starts exhibiting symptoms that are kind of lesser-ish. Like, because he's been implanted with a piece of the Omega that they can't seem to get out of him, he has these random bouts where he smells like baby powder, like the lessers do, but usually it's only when he's near other lessers or when he senses them. He also has like this preternatural sense of where lessers will be. So like if he's within like a 20 block radius of some lessers, he can like smell them, like he can scent them. He also later on develops like this thing where, okay, so Vicious has been using power. Like he has like a little something extra to him that he's been using to cleanse Butch's blood of like the Omega's like taint, right? Taint, pause. Vicious has one hand that he keeps gloved at all times because within his palm he has like a glowing thing going on. And when he touches Butch, he's able to draw the evil out of him, kind of, at least temporarily or like whatever. So he's been doing that while Butch was in quarantine to cleanse his blood of the Omega's bad vibes. They're out and they run into some more lessers. Butch is like, fuck this. I'm even though I'm not in the Brotherhood technically and I'm not supposed to fight, I'm still gonna. So he goes out and he's like, he does this thing when it's time to kill the lesser. He, instead of stabbing it in the heart, which is what they typically do, they use their black daggers to stab the lesser in the heart, and the soul of the lesser returns to the Omega and like is reabsorbed into him. Because of that, the lessening society never really depletes because he can just make more lessers, right? His soul is replenished. But they do that just to get them off the streets, right? When it's time to kill his lesser, he doesn't do it with the dagger or with, a stab to the heart. He leans down and puts his mouth very close to the lesser's mouth, and he basically sucks the bit of Omega that's inside that lesser out and into himself. It makes him physically sick, but V is later able to purge it from him with his hand. So they've come to find out that with Butch doing this, it's preventing that piece of the Omega from returning to him, and therefore every lesser that they kill that way will be a little bit of the Omega that has been drained permanently. Eventually it will lead to the Omega's like death or whatever, right? So Butch is now instrumental to the Brotherhood, and so they go to the Scribe Virgin and they basically plead, can he please become one of the brothers? And she's like, I saw something special in him from the get-go. Like, don't take credit for it, but she's kind of a bitch. But okay, Yes, I will allow it. He is actually the fulfillment of a prophecy from like back in the old books that nobody reads anymore. And he's meant to be turned into a vampire and become part of the Brotherhood. So they turn him with the help of Vicious. And at that point, him and Marissa are kind of on the outs. And they've like had a fight about something. And so she doesn't want him to be turned because there's a chance he won't survive the turning. So she's not there when he needs to feed afterwards. And so he ends up feeding from the queen, from Beth. Wrath is getting ready to go psycho because he's got like that possessive don't touch my woman thing going on. And for a bonded male to watch his female feed another vampire is like a big no-no. So he survives the turning. He's inducted into the Brotherhood. And eventually him and Marissa do work out like their compromise on like what he's allowed to do and what he's not allowed to do, because she's like, it's too dangerous for you to go out. It's too dangerous for you to, okay. She's very cautious. She's very whatever. She doesn't want to lose him, right? So yeah, so that's basically the gist. There are some other bits of the book that lead into the next book, which is Vicious's book. So there are some things that are kind of revealed. Vicious has like, okay, I don't want to say Vicious is gay because Vicious is not gay, but he has some romantic-ish feeling type attachment to Butch. And I think he's felt that from the beginning since they met. And it's like strengthened over time to the point where he has like this possessive feeling about him. It's physically painful for him to see Butch with Marissa. He doesn't really want to be with Butch, but it's just like, maybe just seeing him happy while he's subsequently not happy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Vicious is becoming more and more unhinged throughout the book. And then at the end, he's like on the precipice of some kind of big thing. And then it leaves off and it will lead into his book. So there you go. I'm sure I've missed 1,000 plot points. I'm sure I've forgotten stuff. I'm sure there's a few things I got wrong, but I read this book. I've read this book twice, 2 or 3 times now. The first 2 times was like 15 years ago. And then most recently I reread it, but that was again like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so I've read 2 or 3 books since then, and my brain is just at capacity. So if I got anything wrong, I'm sorry. If I missed any plot points, I'm sorry. Just go ahead and fill in my apology for any gripe you might have. I'm sorry. Okay? So yeah, so that's basically the gist of the book. I would definitely recommend that you guys pick up this book. If you have not read any books in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series, I would recommend starting with the first book, Dark Lover. There is a lot of backstory that you would need. I always say this because I don't believe any novel that's part of a series should be marketed as a standalone novel, because they're really not standalone novels. Yes, it is about 2 main people, but they're surrounded by other characters who have had character development in other books that came before it. And so I don't feel like it should be read from here. Do you follow me? You understand what I'm saying? If you want to read, you have free will. Do whatever you want to do. If you want to start here and read this book and be completely fucking lost as to what's going on, go for it. After you finish, you'll have no choice but to go back to the beginning, and then you'll go, damn, Candace was right. And then I'll just be sitting over here like, I told you so. I really won't, because I won't have any idea that you've done that. But imagine my face doing this when you have that moment, because that's what it would look like. So yeah, so I would definitely recommend that you guys read this series. I love Black Dagger Brotherhood. It is a massively popular series for a reason, obviously. There are some like funky language type things, not like a language barrier, but like the way that J.R. Ward writes these books is like there are periods where the writing is very like old world style, like aristocratic, like thither type, you know what I'm saying? And obviously not thither, but like that. And then there's other times where they're like, they talk almost like gangsters. So if that is a turnoff for you, then you may not be into this series. But if you can get past that, or you can get into the actual story, those things kind of take a back seat, and you don't even really notice them anymore. So yeah, I think that's it. I would highly recommend this book. I would highly recommend this series. People love it for a reason. It's got to be good, right? Like, I'm not to say jump on the gravy train for anything that gets popular, but because like 50 Shades is popular and the writing style is kind of, you know, but these books are definitely good. I would recommend that you read these books. If you like paranormal romance, if you like vampire novels, these will be right up your alley. The spice is good. Okay. And yeah, I think that's it. I really appreciate you guys watching today. If you like me and you like my channel, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell so that you get notifications when I upload a new video. I usually upload videos every Thursday around 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If I'm not in the middle of something or being lazy, either way, it will go up on Thursday, usually. You can follow me on social media if you would like. I do have a members only Facebook group, an Instagram, and a Twitter devoted to this channel. I am on Instagram the most. So if you want, you can just follow me there. It's totally up to you. And yeah, I think that's it. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me for another video. And I will see you guys again next week. Okay? I love you so much. Bye. Rabbit, I will end your life. I don't understand. I don't understand. Freckles, if you don't cut the shit, like, to engage in the turf roar, an aristocratic beauty, an aristocratic beauty. I can't. I swear to God. Left for dead, he's found by a miracle, and the Brotherhood. What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, where the fuck was I? 38 minutes. It's a record, is it? Maybe, I don't know. Probably not, but whatever. When I went to get my hair done, she like gave me a bob, and it was like so nice and smooth and cute, and like everything was pointed this way, and now everything's like flipped out in every fucking direction you can think of, because I can't style my own hair to save my life. I know during the reading of the blurb I fucked up a lot, but did I fuck up anything else? Like blooper wise? I don't think there's gonna be much cut out of this video. I don't know. parched. Guess what's in this cup? Mystery. I think I'm gonna make a compilation TikTok of just all the times that I've gone tea. Because it's literally at the end of like every video. And like the thing that I do when I take my little paver and I go, so satisfying. So satisfying. It is so satisfying to know I'm done. This one has been hanging over my head for like 3 weeks. And I'll tell you why. Because I read it, I finished it right before my husband's parents came to visit for like a week. And then right on the heels of them leaving, I had to cater a baby shower. And I had to make a 2-tiered cake. If I can, I'll find a picture and I'll insert the picture as if you guys give two shits. And so that was like a week's worth of work. And so by the time, like when I thought about sitting down to record this, I thought to myself, oh my God, I can't remember. I don't remember half of the shit that happened in that book. I'm going to get on and I'm going to fucking embarrass myself. I'm not going to remember anything. And as you can see from some of the stuff that I'll cut out and put in the bloopers, I had to open the book a few times to be like, did that happen that way? I can't remember. But that's my brain. That's just my brain. And it's garbage. And if you're here and this is not the first time you've watched me, you'll know that it's garbage in every video. So you're used to it. And you're still here. And I love that. And I love you. And I really appreciate that because why? Why? Why would you? I think that's it. I'm done. I'm done. I have no idea what time it is. I know it's dark outside. I know I'm gonna murder this rabbit. Make a pelt. Like out of this, like a change purse. Like, it's driving me insane. Okay, all you PETA people out there, don't, chill. I'm not actually gonna kill the rabbit. Don't come for me. Anything else? Is there anything else? With my new tripod came a new remote. So until I kill the battery in this one, which there's something inside that's like moving around like a broken piece. Does not bode well, does it? But at least it works. I don't want to jinx myself, but at least it works. So I can take like the thumbnails and stuff without having to reach up and go bloop, bloop, bloop. The end. Good night. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next. I'll see you when I see you. I don't know. Will it be a review? I don't know. I haven't finished no books. I don't know. Will it be a bullshit video? Probably. Which ones do you like? The bullshit videos or the reviews? Do you like it when I just come on here and just blah, 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 just ramble? Or do you like it when I actually give you a book review and a recommendation? What do you prefer? Leave me in the comments below. Talk to me in the comments below. I respond to like all my comments. Or I'll at least heart. Like, unless you're mean or bitchy or have something nasty to say, I will heart your thing. And because I get like one comment a video, if that. So, I'm chomping at the bit. In case you're missing what I'm trying to say, I'm chomping at the bit for comments. Help a bitch out, okay? Like, also, share me with your friends because my channel's going nowhere. I've been putting out videos consistently for over a year, and I have more subscribers than I had a year ago, but I haven't blown up, and y'all haven't made me famous, and I can't get AdSense, and I'm trying not to work for the rest of my life, so. Look at the color change. Ignore all of that. I'm being ridiculous. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.